I had like 3 guys come up and help me unload the car. They were so amazing and so polite, and gave me a receipt, and and I'm just like, yes, yes. So just I've seen a lot of stories where people have changed their mind about what we're doing, and then they tell other people, or they're saying, how else can we be involved? I'd really like to volunteer here. We saw people wanting to come volunteer more often at the Community of Hope. So I feel like we really started to break a lot of stigmas, and it really gave us an opportunity to do that. And again, opened up that visibility, because now people were able to come in and kind of see what it's like and help in certain tangible ways.
Do you allow the dogs at the camp?
Yes, we do. That was one of the barriers with the other shelter in town, not allowing animals. So we do have a rule that if you come in with your companion, you can bring it in, as long as it is either a dog or a cat. It has to be inoculated and fixed. Those are our rules. It has to be on a leash at all times. You may not adopt a pet while you are staying at Camp Hope. Come in if you already have it, but if you don't, no adopting. Let's take care of you. Let's not try to get you in an apartment with an additional pet fee. Yeah.
Just real quick, we have some members of our homeless community here tonight, and there's been some resistance. I guess you would, if you would define what homeless camping's been like in our community, sprawl or dispersed would be the term, and there's been some resistance to the thought of coming into a small area. You're on what, 1 1/4 acres, I think?
Something like that. Yeah.
Something like that for your sites. How have your residents accepted this? I mean, obviously they didn't go from a sprawl to this, they went to this. But has there been a lot of pushback from the people that are sharing these spaces?
We didn't have that, just because, again, this was really an opportunity. We said, every step of the way you designed this, we weren't taking them from somewhere that they already loved. They were already on the campus or at other places that were far away. And some people just stayed, in other areas where they wanted to for a while, until they got to see that the camp was working, and people were like, just come try it out. And it ended up not being that big of a deal. Yes, you could say it is close quarters. It's definitely different than an indoor shelter, because it's not just like beds next to each other. The tent pad sites are all 10 feet apart from each other, and that's to allow for emergency access through all of that. It was a fire department rule. They didn't want to see if a fire started that it would hop from tent to tent, so they gave us that 10-foot apart. And we try to accommodate people as best we can to certain areas of the camp that they feel like would help them be further away from people. But a lot of people coming in, again, it was an opportunity for them to create the camp and be part of that. And so I feel like if you do have resistance, and you do have people that are moving, by trying to talk to them about saying, look, here you have a hand in creating, maybe even recreating, this type of community and making it work. It doesn't have to look like my beautiful drawing that you saw. You have to make it work for your particular plot. And hopefully there's some buy-in with that. That being said, I'm sure you'll have some people who say okay, let's do this. We have to move anyway. And then after that, like I said, with ours, people were bringing them in, and they felt safe and they felt good about trying it out.
What percentage of the unhoused population in Las Cruces do you think you're taking care of?
The majority,
Really?
I think.
Because you place people in.
Yeah. Even if they're not sleeping there at night, they're there during the day. They're all coming in and signing in. We have over 100 people signing in. So we're serving a lot of people during the day. Not all of them are staying at the camp. So between the mission and Community of Hope, we're serving a lot of people.
How many?
What's that?
How many?
I think the mission accommodates somewhere between, right now they have their overflow open because it is cold right now, and we did have the snow. So I think they accommodate somewhere between 75 or 70 and upwards of there, maybe up to 80. Yeah, and ours is capped at 50, we have 42.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wondering how you manage people's vehicles, if you require the vehicles to be insured and registered and operable, like people come in and bring derelict vehicles and have them stranded out there, what happens?
Sure. In the beginning, we did have some people with vehicles, so we accounted for that. So even though we can have 50 people at the camp, we did 45 tent pad sites, because we figured that there would be a few that were couples, and then people that wanted to sleep in their cars, so we allow for 6 vehicles, up to 6 vehicles, you'll figure out what works for you. We do make sure that the vehicle is insured, is registered, and some of the other, agreements that we have, this isn't necessarily something that we're checking, but it's something that we will work with officers on, that if people have open warrants, that they don't come to Camp Hope as a place to come hide out. But if they do disclose that they have a warrant, or we find that they have a warrant, then we really try to work with them and the judge. We have a really amazing judge now. She's, trying to start a homeless court. She's made a ton of changes that have been really amazing so that we can help people take care of those warrants in an appropriate manner.
So I think we'll just take a couple more questions.
I was just thinking it was important because you say 1.25 acres to handle this situation, but you also have the mission. You still have how many people that are out on the street, so you're helping those that come there, and there's still quite a few that are out in the community, sleeping in different random places, and if we're really gonna wrap this situation, I think it's important that we also speak to how much acreage we need to do that, especially with your amazing 2-month turnaround time getting people out. It was mentioned in the earlier meeting, I think that it takes almost like 4 to 5 years here, so you really need to keep that in perspective, 4 years, to get that in perspective.
Right. Yeah, great point. So your numbers might look a lot different.
Maybe one more question? Any questions?
How about just a thank you?
We're gonna wrap up. Nicole will be we'll have a debrief in the morning. You'll hear more from us, but if you have more questions or thoughts from these presentations, send them. Send them to Nina. There's a camp committee that's gonna be looking at suggestions and moving the project forward. If you're interested in getting involved, contact me.
There, on our little fact sheet, the email we're using right now is the office at St. Mark's Episcopal Church. So, and they forward everything to me. And so you need to get in touch with us. That's the best way to do it for right now.
And if you can't,
And on the back, I will just say, on the back of our fact sheet, these are the guiding principles that we're working on, if you're interested in that. And then Nicole had some in there. So thank you for coming, and I think we all learned a lot.